We're live, Madalena. How are you with that
Doing
beautiful
well.
sunny day?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I feel great. Yeah, I'm glad to be in conversation with you again.
Well, me too. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming. I don't have
of course.
an intro yet. I just thought about it today. It was like I should have an intro like Snappy.
Yeah, like a 5
That's a
minute.
very cool one, yeah.
Yeah, he
And
does.
I'm not very good also at intro like a host. I need to work on that also. It's like
You do great.
hello everybody and all of that. But hello everybody, anyways. And so Marilena, I guess like I don't know if we have many South American here yet. I know we are going to have a bet. So if you don't mind, I will do just like a small, short Spanish intro improvisation.
Sure.
Then we
Go
just keep
ahead.
it with English. Bueno,
Awesome.
hola, hola a todos. Una vez más estamos con Madalena aquí en en nuestros live streaming de Stones and Serpents que hacemos, que lo hemos estado haciendo con Madalena, con Snappy, estuvimos el otro día en su canal, también lo hicimos con él una vez, entonces esta es la tercera vez que hacemos este experimento que ha estado funcionando. Tenemos a nuestra invitada, la gata, que está constantemente, wow, wow. Así que te está saludando. Y bueno, hago siempre esta pequeña intro porque estamos de a poco presentando lo que estamos haciendo con nuestros colaboradores en Estados Unidos, como el doctor Amon Hillman, como Madalena aquí, como Snappy también en Canadá. Pronto también vamos a estar hablando con Torán, que ahora está viviendo en Lesbos. Y ahora voy a hacer un pequeño switch a inglés y vamos a hacer toda esta interview en inglés. Luego pensamos hacer algunos extractos de lo que conversemos hoy día con Magdalena con subtítulos en español para también ir compartiendo un poco con nuestra audiencia. Estoy transmitiendo desde Chile, así que un poquito tiene sentido que haga esta pequeña introducción en español. Y sin decir más, me cambio al inglés para poder hablar con Magdalena de algunos temas brutales que tenemos para hoy día. So, Mari, that was it. I was just saying hi to
Awesome.
everybody.
Cool.
And do
Hello.
you get a bit of what I say when I talk in Spanish? Or it's like
Yeah, a little bit. I
a
I
little bit.
spent some time in Central America, so I can pick up some words and stuff, but
Hmm.
not like fluent or anything.
Well, I was saying like that this is the third time we're doing this. I was saying that the cat also is going to be with us probably a while. She's just screaming hi all the time. Every time I do like this kind of thing, she comes here, just there in the like right there. She start like wow, wow, like crazy.
Yeah.
So probably she will be
Oh.
there a bit. And also I was saying that that I was using English now mainly because we are doing these collaborations with you, with Snappy, with Dr. Amon, and like we are thinking about having Toran, which is our musician of our documentary project Stones and
Mhm.
Serpents, and he's currently living in Greece. Actually, he changed from Maltese island, Gozo, and now he went to live in Lesbos. So
Very
probably
cool.
we're gonna be streaming with him. He's
Nice.
difficult to find, but I will make sure that he introduces himself like soon. So
Beautiful.
that will be my impro uh, intro impro. So Maralena, why don't you tell us about your main? I guess we should go with. We know that you are studying.
Hmm.
You keep studying with the ancient Greek. So
Yes.
how is that going?
It's good. We finished the intensive Greek. We had a little break, but I was reading every day, all sorts of different stuff. And keeping it consistent. And now we've been doing the intensive reading course, which is available for anybody to watch in the Lady Babylon Discord. if anybody's interested. And we do also workshops twice a week as well, and it's amazing because it's research, but I'm getting experience with learning how to translate text and a few lines every day, and translating some really, really old stuff, and it's been really fun, and I'm very honored and grateful um, that I've been given that opportunity. I take it very seriously, and it's very sacred to me. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I've been doing mostly. It takes up a lot of time. I'm doing mom stuff and my artwork and um, yeah, I have some other projects like working with the Soma Library, which I'm getting back on track with writing some more here soon with a couple others. So yeah, that's my days are full and it feels very complete.
That's great. Actually, I was thinking about you the other day we did an interview that still is not online, but
Hmm.
it's with a like she's from Greece and she's living here in Chile, and she's a philologist and a linguist, and she studied in Athens and then in Scotland. And actually, we managed to have both Amon and her in an interview. And
Oh yeah,
before
can't wait
Amon
to
was
see
there,
that.
we were talking about well, ancient Greece, of course, ancient Greek, of course, and she was mentioning how is less and less people are doing it even in modern Greece. We talked
Yeah,
about a lot of that, and what's going on with the studies of ancient Greek. So in some way that the fact that you are doing that and also like in an intensive way
hmm,
is not coming in anywhere, because you might think maybe here in the Americas, like North America or South America, maybe yeah, not much, but you will think that probably as you go closer to Greece, it will be something that people will be doing more, or Europeans as, I don't know, as part of their own story. But seems like it's not happening, not even in modern Greece. And she said that to us, so it's not something that I'm inventing. And we were talking with Amon also about it, like how this
yeah. I mean,
how it's been lost a bit.
not a lot of people are doing that. It is.
Mhm.
It's like people are not interested, or I mean, there's a lot of people that are interested. There's not a lot of people that know how to put the work in to translate it properly. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
it's not linear, and my natural brain is just gonna go like line to line to line. My English brain, right? And what Amin's been showing has been like, okay, it's a puzzle that we put together, and we have to take it apart and put it back together kind of, and it's a lost skill. And I think what Amin's doing is amazing because he's offering it to the world for anybody to be devoted, um you know and
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean,
climb aboard, to climb aboard the Greek train, and
mhm,
be, I mean, like the consistent aspect of it, and being accountable, and being a part of this group has been a huge factor in my own progress with it because of that, this space. And so I imagine it's quite challenging for anybody to just jump in, but it is possible. And if I can do it with four kids and a full day of
mhm.
chaos, then anybody can. So I hope that it's inspiring, at least encouraging, for people to revive it, and that's why it's Renaissance, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I was telling you the story of Evina, this teacher, this philologist, linguist, and
Hmm.
because she was also very like it was a surprising for her, this project, like Stones
Yeah,
and Serpents, like she didn't know that. And then obviously now she's more familiarized with what Amon is doing,
very
and
nice.
that he's teaching people online, and he's like giving it, and well, in the Discord, obviously, like if you actually want to go deeper on it, he's offering it to the world, kind of thing. So yeah, from her perspective, it will be, oh, as she's a teacher, it would be like, we should teach this to kids, that
Mm-hmm.
you know. And
Yeah.
actually, in Greece, she was telling us that there's been an effort of connecting again modern Greek people with their ancient, what was going on there before, because obviously it was not modern Greece, was different. The geography was completely different, and
Yeah.
it didn't exist this like one place called Greece as is now. So so yeah, they are not doing it anymore. I think it was just like for the first 4 years they have a little bit of it, or maybe one sentence to kids, let's say, and she was one of nine in the whole like generation that went
Wow.
to like classics. And after classics also you have another, you get a bed and you can go deeper on it and become a philologist.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was even less, and this is Greece in Athens,
Wow.
so
Jeez.
this is pretty like, how to call it, like um vanguard maybe, or like very not happening in like anywhere. This is some kind of, I mean, what I mean is what you are doing and what Amon is doing, and the whole group, in the Discord and everything, is very unique in the whole world. And I know that not just from a research, like from a Athenian that is saying that, like she was working in all over Europe, she was trained in
Mm-hmm.
Athens, now she's living in South America, so she must know a bit of
Yeah.
the scene in the whole world. I mean,
True.
so yeah, is
That's
is is
awesome.
it makes it like even more awesome. That
Yeah.
is, that is been trying to like to share with everybody, like openly, like not charging anything. The whole idea that he's doing it for free is also, like talking about Ammon, is also
Yeah.
something very not common, let's say.
No, but it's important. I think it's important um f- for these texts to not be lost, because we have all these translations, but if you can't actually like read the Greek anymore, nobody in the world can, and the next generations, nobody's
Hmm.
being taught. It's all gonna wither away into nothing. No one's gonna
Yeah.
understand, and that could be really sad.
Hmm.
I think it's really, really important what Amon's doing. Um,
Yeah. And
so,
also because even when the effort that I was mentioning before of in Greece to bring it back a bit is even connected with the way they will pronounce it. Well, we will share that interview in a week or so,
mhm,
but
that'd be
but it
good.
was very interesting that they pronounce everything as modern Greek, just
Yeah,
as an effort to bring them close to be even a bit more interested, to not see it as a complete different language,
right.
because it's not a complete different language, but obviously it has big difference that you have to study it all over again. But the whole
Hmm.
point that she was trying to make, I guess, it was like, um, that is this is like the last resource to actually bring Greek people more close to ancient Greece.
Wow,
So yeah, this is, as somebody is saying there in the chat, is like the frontier,
the
because this is
frontier.
like
Yeah,
we're in the this
yeah.
is
I
happening
mean,
all over.
from people that have never heard this work, or um, even been exposed to seeing or reading or being involved in language, in the language of ancient Greek, right? Um, it can just seem very bizarre. It can seem like a very niche thing, but
Mhm. Yeah,
it
I know
is
what you mean.
it is the basis of everything, you know?
Mhm.
It is the
Yeah.
basis of all that we have. Like I mean, our whole reality is kind of built on uh the physics of all these concepts and um technologies and genres and ways of existing that have been almost forgotten, and we can't let that happen.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, and actually, what you're saying is very like even for me, let's say in the project of the documentary, I have to, as a producer, to find ways that obviously involved that I have to have a meeting with somebody and tell to this person everything we are doing.
yeah.
So I have been encountering with this makes no sense. What are you doing this? Why are you not doing this other thing or whatever? It
Mhm.
feels like so ancient Greece feels like so off from everything, pretty much. Like even if you are an European or if you are in the Americas or if you are I don't know like whatever. But
Mhm.
as we are going deep with the project, we I have like a bunch of things that I can bring up in a meeting as
Yeah.
to show how connected still we are with it, even with the way you live. I mean, when I was talking also in this last interview about the concept of the paideia of
Mhm.
these three pillars of education, like from 800 BC, that kept going in classic Greece and then Hellenistic times and then Roman times and then even now we have like a lot of it on it. But somehow it seems like something happened in the collective that it got disconnected completely from it, but not
Mhm.
really. I mean, even we are using in Spanish, we have so many words that we're using all the time, and not just words, concepts like
Words and concepts. Yeah.
politics or whatever, like
Mhm.
so we are not at all actually with all of this it feels like it's not that much time from ancient Greece till modern days. I mean, it feels like not that much. It's not that long ago, it's like we are not completely separated from it and not even a bit, I guess. So that's why I think it's very interesting the fact that um, the language is it will there will be an effort. It doesn't matter how small it is, but
Mhm.
to keep it from some reason, not just from. It's not like you are trying to keep something, some archaeological stuff. Like let's try to
Right.
keep something in a museum
Where
because
they can,
it's
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Mhm.
It relates with the mind and with the culture. So you don't have to be even, well, let's say even Greek people feel disconnected from it. So it's not a thing about a geographical point or it's history of, I guess, the planet.
Yeah.
So it's making more and more sense to go for it. And the connections with it for the project that we are doing is
Mhm.
more and more all the time.
That's
So it's great.
awesome. Yeah, I bet. I mean, I see you in the classes and stuff too, sometimes popping in, and I mean, I imagine that you're constantly absorbing so much too, new information, that it kind of changes and evolves your own creative process too. So I'm excited
Mhm.
to see how it develops.
Yeah. I mean, we just know that it will take way longer than we thought before
Yeah,
as we are
yeah.
going deep with it. But it's part of it. That's why we're doing also this,
Hmm.
to be able to, in the meantime or while we're doing it, because we are absolutely sure that as we are working in this piece, we are already thinking in the next one, and it's completely related with it. And the
It's
people that are
amazing.
collaborating also are bringing new ideas to it. So it's moving a lot of things here in Chile even. I mean, let's say
That's cool.
this interview we did, it was, you will not think that in Chile, I will not think it will be a person like her working here. And
Hmm.
she was like, just I even knew. I contacted her because of somebody that I knew. So it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's been pretty crazy how things
that's
have
so
been
cool.
developing.
Meant to
But yeah,
be.
yeah, for
Kismet.
sure.
Yeah.
And also the topics, the topics
Hmm.
that are that it's been brought, like from Lady Babylon, um, to the to concepts like pharmakeia and all of that.
Hmm.
Also for people that are like Evina, pro giving classes everywhere, philologists, linguists, whatever. There are topics like nobody is studying now. It's
Right.
her words. So when we were talking with Dr. Amon and her, she also was very interested in the research, and understanding.
Cool.
She's completely like she can read. She has been reading Homer. She was a kid, like
Yeah.
and then studying in the original. So for her also, there's a lot of things that are new. So again, is frontier, as somebody said. There is
Frontier.
like what you're doing um within the planet is like, I think probably you are the only ones that are doing this, like in the whole, like the known
I
world,
hope.
let's say.
I hope not. I hope people are just are also doing it in their own time. And
Mhm.
but the
Not
task of
increase.
yeah, apparently,
Mhm.
the task of preserving the language is at the forefront of my goal, I think, with learning and I feel sometimes that I'm losing as much as information as I'm getting um, at all times, but that's why the consistency is what's keeping me up, and
Mhm.
yeah, and then when I get into doing it like in the classes and stuff, it's like, oh yeah, like I have my head on my shoulders, like I'm capable, I can remember, and that's on my side. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's really cool. Thank you
Well,
for sharing that.
and we thank you, because at the same time you are like, as we are showing this to the to an audience here, probably not right now, but we try to bring it to the Spanish speaking world also.
Hmm.
And that somebody is doing it, like
Yeah,
you're doing it. You are saying to everybody, you can do this. Because I
yeah.
even I've been in some of the um in the classes, so I
Hmm.
can see how, even feel a bit like, okay, dude, what she's doing is must be like like not easy to do at all. So, but
No,
I
my
know that.
notes are crazy. You want to see? You want
Mhm,
to see some of my notes? It's like
definitely.
working through these texts. I have a journal that's just for intensive reading, and it's like I take sometimes I'll take like a before picture and then after I've just hacked through everything. And I mean, working through stuff. It's just
Yeah.
insane. It's just chaos
Big,
on
big.
these pages, but it really is fun. It really is like putting
Yeah.
the puzzles together. It's enlivening. It's not boring. It's
You can really tell.
yeah, I don't have a good adjective to use right now, but I certainly do enjoy um, studying and attempting to translate, even if I'm way off or um, miss something, at least I am working through it. And as I do that, it grows my brain, you know, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
And just to add a little bit, because well, Chewy was saying there, hi Chewy, she was saying that she was hearing the conversation of Amon with Evina, and they were talking about that. Like for me, it was like I'm hearing these two persons talking, and I'm like not getting everything they're talking. Obviously they understood each other in this way that you are just saying now. That probably you will understand. When they
Yeah.
were saying this, how it stretches the mind, how the verb is going like till the end, and you have to keep all of these ideas. So
Hmm.
the way that they were using the language was some kind of uh, something that will train a bit your mind. The whole idea is not that you will just understand like I don't know, like you will do a list of things you need. It was going to some kind of artistic expression also, like even the way that you will express an idea
Hmm.
with the language was not separated from, okay, you express yourself like this to make your grocery list, and just if you are a poet you will use it this way. I mean, they were teaching everybody to understand the language or literacy, as
Hmm.
Irina was saying, in the same way. It was
Yeah.
not like this is poetry and this is language, like it was like I think that it will be like in the mind of the person. And this was not like
Yeah.
for 100 years also. It was for a long time.
Right.
So
It was, yeah, long periods of time. But I like how Amin says that it's a workout. It's a practice. It's not like um yeah, any other language that I've studied. But it's something that you return to every day. It's like exercising. You're not gonna be buff all in one day. I have to keep working at it. I have to keep learning and
mhm,
yeah, slowly building up uh, my capacity of understanding, I guess. As the more I read, the more that I explore, and
mhm.
there's a lot of
It's
beauty
amazing.
in doing that. So,
Yeah. Because also you will be able to dive into your own research.
mhm,
I
yeah,
mean, just last time that I'm going to talk about that interview, but it reminds me another
mhm,
another thing, which, like Evina was saying, as more we read the text, more we understand whatever. I don't remember what it
mhm,
was. It was, I guess, was about the role of women in society, which is very cool topic that we talked
mhm,
in the interview. But the fact that this she is saying, as more than we study the text, we are understanding that things that we thought before are not that way anymore.
yeah,
So
yep,
the ability to read ancient Greek is also like you are not reading something that is already there. I mean, it's being developed as we speak now. Like even for somebody that's dedicated her whole life to it, she's still discovering stuff with it. So to acquire this skill, it will give you like you'll be able to do your own research. So that's
yeah,
also so cool.
for sure. And it'll be like a forever thing. it's a,
Yeah,
it's a relationship with these texts, and it's cool. It's fun, and I'm being sharpened.
yeah. And well, to keep going, this is I think this was the best way to start, like with Greek
Hmm.
language studies. And but it was like the other day when we were talking about like to chat again.
Hmm.
Even the first time I was thinking about to ask you about this, but I forgot when we were talking, which is this project that you had online
Oh
that is
yes.
called Fantasia, or
Yeah.
Fantasia, we'll say in Spanish. I don't know how you
Hmm.
pronounce it. And I was very curious about it. Like,
Yeah, I put it on pause for now, but
mhm,
I will revive it. So I'll tell you my inspiration for this project. It's mostly a practice. It's a practice that I've done myself, but it's fun. I think I came across the idea because, you know, I thought, why not do this in front of people. So I did one one try
Hmm.
where I'm blindfolded and I practiced being receptive to messages under a substance. I was mostly just weed, right? And you know, getting stoned and hanging out with everybody on the internet, and and experimenting with you know. Uh, the stream of consciousness flowing through your mind and seeing what comes up and um and the result was really interesting. I had some very interesting feedback because I was just saying stuff that I was visualizing and um and things that were popping into my head, whether they made sense or not, as
It's amazing.
almost this
And
poetic
I'm sorry,
expression. Uh-huh.
but this is a live stream that you
Mhm.
are like engaging at like what you're telling us. Like you are
Yeah.
blindfolded, you
Uh-huh.
get stoned a bit, and then
Yeah.
you start receiving something, and you talk
Mhm.
about it while you are live streaming.
Yeah, I was like,
Sounds
let's
great.
do I think I don't know how long ago it was. It had to be like January, February. And
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, I want to practice this, because I used to do like um as a child, I remember being like 9 or 10 years old and my teacher she gave me this project. She sat us at like small groups and she gave me this project to do um oh like free form writing, right? It's a proprioceptive writing where it's just free form and it's a tool that unlocks your unconscious states. It's like you just write and write and write without stopping. You cannot stop. You just keep writing, and what comes up are unresolved emotions, dreams, feelings or anything that's just cluttering the brain,
Mhm.
and it's a therapeutic thing to do, but I as a child got really addicted to doing that. That might have been my autistic thing. I don't know, but
Yeah, I know what you
yeah,
mean.
like I was just really attached to writing and writing and writing and writing, and and I continued um, to put that into a poetic visual form. So for a time, I did like visual poetry. So I wanted to do it and again, but just through speech and just through visualizing, because a lot of my own divinatory practices are visual, and
Mhm.
yeah.
So
So
that time, that time that you did the experiment, so you had a very interesting feedback, and what do
yeah.
you remember about that first experiment? Like,
I wish I could remember exact words from people during that. But
what kind of?
I remember being like reading messages from people because I couldn't see the chat while I
Yeah, yeah, I
was
know what you
doing it,
mean.
right? Which is the point, because
Yeah,
I
this is
didn't want to be distracted. But then at the same time, it's like I don't want to worry if people think it's dumb or like I look stupid with just being blindfolded saying nonsense, right? And but at the same time there were specific things that were timely, that I have no idea what I said or can remember, that meant a lot to somebody who just popped in for a second, right? And for that specific moment. And so that is something that's really cool, because it's like, yeah, you click on my live and then you get some sort of random scramble of words that's just very accurate for your life, and that has nothing to do with me,
Mhm.
you know? So, uh, I think that's cool,
Great.
and I want to continue trying that and seeing what happens with that. Eventually, I had a lot of free
Okay, so
time,
oh,
but then
but you have plans at some point you will, because I find that I love the idea.
thank you. Yeah,
This is a great idea. Like yeah, I'm sure that a bunch of stuff will happen. Like
for sure.
yeah.
I'll develop like different techniques, I'm sure. And yeah,
Hmm.
we'll
Have
see.
you ever been? I'm sorry, I'm just randomly thinking about this because in my algorithm is throwing me this remote viewing thing like from for like past 2 months. Like
Oh, remote viewing.
have you heard about that, isn't it? What do
Yeah,
you think
I
about
had
it?
I did a breathwork course. I exchanged writing for this breathwork certification course on 2023, I think.
Mhm.
And my teacher, she does remote viewing. She wanted to do a remote viewing specifically for like finding lost kids and um and creating like a team of people that can just uh help the world,
Mhm. Which it does. I
with
mean,
kids that are being trafficked and stuff like that, and women. And yeah, I'm not experienced with it. I mean,
mhm,
I understand that it's possible to
mhm.
an extent, but
Have you?
I've never seen somebody do it. I never
Mhm.
read all like techniques. Most of what I
Ah,
do
okay.
is just experimental, so.
I remember it because I know a little bit of how actually the process is because I was a bit obsessed with it like years ago. And
Mhm,
not obsessed, but let's say I did a bit of research on it. And yeah, you are always blind to a target. So you
mhm.
will not have any idea of what the target that you should be going and bring the information. It will just be a
Interesting.
number. So you will pick up a pen and you will say, okay, this is target number 04567 8 because
Mhm,
there's somebody that give you the target, but you don't know anything about the target. So you will put your pen on a board, say what number this objective is, that it can be anything, even out of this time, it could be a million years ago, or it could be underwater, or it could be in another planet. So you
yeah.
just start seeing you start saying what you are feeling, touching,
Mm,
temperature, I guess, but everything is blind, and they call it that way. Is you are blind to the target. So that's why I
hmm,
remember it reminded me what your experiment of being
yeah,
blind to anything. So
right.
and the idea is like the person that is giving you the target is the only connection you have with the target.
Mhm,
So seems like there is some kind of connection between the person that is giving you a target and yourself. So you don't know anything about it, and you
yeah.
start giving from 8 hours of sketching stuff. Some of the remote viewers will be very graphic in how they make a draw, let's say. Some
Yeah.
other will be more about um, describing things but not drawing it, and so it's very I guess like I'm not sure what decade, but that it was very taken very seriously to actually like seriously, let's say, from institutional perspective of even military stuff, like to use that abilities of a human and take advantage in a military way,
Yeah.
which doesn't sound very good, but they were actually going going in this research, and seems like it does. I mean, it does really work. And I don't know why not they are not teaching kids in school, but let's say even here in Chile, it will be common that the police when it are trying to find something that they are not what it is. Let's say something could be, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And they will use a psychic. So
Mhm.
it sounds for the common collective, let's say, it might sound like, well, nobody believes in this, but they're they're very actively using it at some point where they don't have any other option. They go for psychic even to find, I don't know, like something, um, like a body, let's say,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Mm.
So this is being used like actively.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know why it's still this kind of layer of
Taboo.
ridicule on it,
Yeah.
or taboo or
Hmm.
ridicule. It seems like
Yeah.
we use it seriously,
And I
but
think every
somehow it's kind
human,
of ridiculous at the same time, like for the, I don't know, for the collective.
yeah, I
Or
think
I don't know how to put
everybody
it.
has those capabilities in some sort of way, depending on
Hmm.
your attention.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I mean, this has been described for thousands of years, like
Hmm.
practices like is part of the human toolkit, let's say.
Yeah.
So, Marilena, that was like I wanted to ask you about the Fantasia project, which I
Yes.
was
Oh,
very, and it's very
perfect.
cool. You should definitely
I should
start
do
again
it
with
some
it.
more. I
I will
should do
go
it, try
to
it
the live
again.
stream for sure
Aw,
and
thanks.
try to send out a message
Yeah.
through it.
Cool. I'll have
And
to figure out a time to do that.
mhm.
Yeah.
And also like this was one of the things that I wanted to ask you about.
Hmm.
But the thing that we have been talking about, like chatting, that is this topic of, which is very interesting also, which is the and very connected with the whole Stones and Serpents imaginary or universe, because which is dreams. Why?
Yeah.
Because we actually did this experiment also. I told you that at the
Yeah.
beginning of the project, I remember I started with it, but then everybody was doing it in the team, and we were starting to have a record of all of our dreams, and like writing them, or speaking it to the computer, so everybody started
Yeah.
to have this log of, or like journal of
That's
dreams,
cool.
just to see,
Yeah.
because it was actually part of our first well, my brother will hate me for saying this because he doesn't like me to talk about scripts, but yeah, it's a part of our first script, which is the dream world, and how it was connected with everybody, and how, as we were expeditioning Europe last year, it was the dreams of everybody will being at the same time connected with the universe of the thing that was happening at the moment, and it was
Really?
completely crazy.
They were
What
connected.
I mean,
I
if
love
you
that.
get, for myself, the journal was so, I have done it before when I was way younger, but give me just a second. Brother, see? Sorry, Mari. Give me
No,
just
you're
one
good.
second. Just save a guy. I'm sorry, live streaming. And
Yeah, or
so dreams.
recording your dreams is really important. Um, for sure. I was going to talk about that later on, what I
Okay.
think about it. But
Hmm.
I think that recording your dreams as a practice is very useful tool because it brings some sort of stability from the dream realm, right? And you know, if you don't
Mhm.
record it, it'll just be lost. Um, yeah, you have these dreams. I'm sorry, I have a neighbor that's got a motorcycle and he's been really loud. Um,
It's okay.
so
We cannot hear it.
there's a lot of reasons to record dreams, and
It's
I
something that
think
you do,
I
like.
have done. My experience with it has been really inconsistent. It's not been regular. I don't dream regularly anymore. But any profound
Mhm.
dreams that I have, I do record them. I remember a majority of my dreams, especially from my childhood, and I could share those later on too. I kind of wanted to talk about, if it's okay.
Of course,
Um,
go for it.
uh,
Please, please do.
Sources that talk about dreams and and different viewpoints of
Mhm.
dreams, what they are, and why we dream. You know, um,
Yeah,
I yeah.
just to add to that, yeah, that's actually was why it was not random. It was like because we found this practice, it was related with the training of,
Mhm.
or even with some kind of medicine that you like in ancient times, like that we talked with Ammon in, I don't remember, it was, I guess, chapter 3 of the History Inquiry series,
Yeah.
and the importance of the actual dreams, like in everything. And they
Mhm.
were actively engaging with it, not just like a, um, well, you have the sources, so it makes a lot of sense that we talked about the sources with it, because that's one of the reasons why we decided to start doing it and keep doing it during the whole project. Well, I'm still
That's
doing
cool.
it.
That's
So
cool. You should.
and for
Yeah.
me, it's like I've been, I I think every day I will write, because every day I can remember, every night. I mean, like
Mhm.
it's not one night that I don't remember something that I dreamt. Like, and I think that's because I was starting to
Being
record.
that's
So.
so cool. I love
Mhm.
that. Yeah, I go through phases of personally, I go through phases of having many dreams and then having none for a while. And partially due to like stress and lack of sleep, you know, I'm just really
Mhm.
exhausted and I don't remember my dreams. I barely have them when I'm just
Right on.
completely, you know, barely sleeping. Yeah,
Mhm.
I got insomnia really bad, and that's just something I live with right now. So, um, but the dreams that I do have in between when I get some good rest, rarely, I'll write them down. And some of the things that I remember in my dreams that I've recorded are insane. They have propelled a lot of change in my life. If I look back at all the different dreams that I had and what I decided as a result. I think I shared this on Snappy's podcast,
Mhm.
but the first time I ever had some sort of a psychic experience, um, which I categorize in my brain as different than an experience with an entity or some otherworldly experience, but specifically something that's prophetic that happened right after a dream, from a dream, was I woke up one day and I had this thought. I had a weird dream, and I thought I encountered my grandma, and I yelled for my mom at the top of the stairs, and I said, "Mom, what if grandma died today?" And then the same moment, she picked up the phone, or she had a phone call, and it was her, or the hospital saying that she passed away. And in that exact moment, it was all right out of my dream. I like right out of my sleep, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" I think I was. like 15 at the time, and thinking that's insane. How could I have had this dream of her and then have that understanding right at the time that she
Yeah, I mean,
had passed
that would
away,
change your
right?
life.
Yeah, it
That would
did.
change
And
your
it,
life. I mean,
yeah, it
I
was
mean,
very
well,
strange.
it's not random. I mean, we know it's impossible that it's a random things. I mean, so that would
Yeah,
open.
and yeah, so I've had some really really wild dreams. It's like whenever I do dream, they are very intense journeys and very
Mhm.
purposeful. And yeah, we can get into that later. I'll tell you some of them. Some of it, I know it's like a common thing that sharing your dreams is like the most boring thing or whatever. But I think hearing people's dreams is really interesting because it's also, you realize what's going in somebody's mind. And so that's why I like reading these sources about dreams is because when I did this research, when you told me you're like, I want to talk about dreams and diamonds, I was like, yeah, like ah, that's that's right up my alley. So I did some research. I was thinking, what are some of the oldest sources that talk about dreams? And obviously, the Iliad and the Odyssey, some of the oldest texts and stories that talk about dreams. There's Iliad, Book 2. I wrote that Zeus sends a dream to Agamemnon that's deceptive. And I thought, when I read that, I was like, really, that's the first thing that, I found. And why would I want to share about a deceptive dream? But it didn't really make sense until I was reading further. Because Zeus sends him this dream and Agamemnon wakes up feeling like, oh, I'm gonna be victorious. I should go try to conquer Troy. And he sent that dream to in order to honor Achilles. So it's something like divine misinformation going on, something like um, a story that was showing the potential of a person's mind to be manipulated very easily. That human beings are gullible. Um, that our perception of reality can be changed so easily just
Mhm,
through a dream. That our timeline can be shifted just
mhm.
through images and thoughts getting trapped in our brain, right? Because um yeah, I thought that was a really interesting story. It was like dreams functioning in this in-between area where gods are communicating with humans. And so yeah, Zeus was manipulating him and sending an illusion. And so they got me thinking like, how do you know? How do you know if there are if
Yeah.
your dreams are illusion? And so the Odyssey, book 19 talks about Penelope. There's a famous passage that talks about two gates. There's two gates. There's the gate of the horn and ivory. The gates of horn, they're dreams that are darker and harder and realer, and the gates are of ivory are shining, polished, but illusion and deceptive and unreal. So the story is talking about Penelope having all these dreams, Odysseus coming home and returning, but she's like, I don't trust anything. I don't trust these dreams.
Mhm.
Um, I don't trust the image being put in my mind. And so that story is portraying that even fantasy, even these divine looking dreams, like um, they could be false. And yeah, so I wrote the human mind can't tell between what's real and what's not when imagery is imprinted. So this shows how also not all dreams are functioning in the same way. So I thought that was interesting. I thought it was also I was curious about how the real dreams are dark. And I think
Mhm.
something that's been reoccurring for me is like penetrating through horrors, through darkness, and not being and if feelings of fear arise, how do you push through that and um, uncover some enlightenment? And yeah, I would rather that than love, light, illusion, right? Being stuck in some
Mhm.
sort of ignorance. So yeah.
And I remember that it was when I was asking, I was researching the idea of dreams and how it was being the like actively how they were dealing in training of an oracle
Mhm.
with the dream state, and there were two different approaches. One, it will be like the information that it will bring. I mean, after you wake up, you just go and write everything that you are going into in this place. And this other way, it will be induced. So you can
Induce, yeah.
induce something
Hmm.
that the person will dream, and then you will get that info with that thing that you are doing. So
Right.
there were two different concepts, I remember.
Hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's great because I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. Like,
Amazing.
so yeah, there is a lot of there's a lot of stuff. There are lots of
Sure.
sources that talk about different concepts. So the next one I wrote was Heraclitus. He talks about it. It just starts getting weird because he's like, well, how do I know that I'm even awake right now? How do I know that I'm not asleep and that this isn't a dream, that reality isn't a dream? And that's
Hmm.
where it's like, okay, well, am I in a perpetual psychosis? Whose dream am I in? And so he starts asking these questions, and it shifts from, oh, dreams being messages to analyzing the physics of perception, to questioning your reality. And he writes, those who are awake share a common world, but sleepers turn aside into their own private worlds. So that's like a metaphor for being aware, connected, or ignorant and disconnected from reality. I thought that was interesting too.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like I get that from time to time. I'm like, am I just inside with a dream of somebody else's mind right now? Is that what this whole point is understanding that we are we're in the mind of the goddess. Is that what the universe is? And sometimes I'm like getting all existential, but yeah. So another source about dreams is like Clytemnestra dreams of giving birth to a serpent.
Yeah.
And
Aeschylus. That's
yeah,
Aeschylus.
it's Aeschylus, yeah. So she's dreaming of giving birth to the serpent, wrapping it, taking care of it, um, and feeding it. But as she's breastfeeding it, it's like also
Yeah.
drinking her blood, and so she's getting like pain, and she's experiencing pain, and
Mhm.
it's like psychological, and it's guilt manifesting this image through her dream.
Mhm. And
And yeah.
just to add to that, because that was a passage that I was reading and reading again, like in the
Uh-huh.
translation, obviously not in the ancient Greek,
Yeah,
but
same.
that which which before that before that there is a description of there is a part that is saying that some screaming was being heard on the
Oh
castle,
yeah. Hmm.
and that something had happened. It doesn't say that it's Clytemnestra screaming because she's waking up, but is it during the night, very deep into the night, some screaming are going on in the castle, and then the dream priests that I don't remember the way that it was said, but it caught my attention because it's saying like, well, we know that Aeschylus was very saying a lot in different ways. Even he was actually almost killed because of revealing too much. And before that passage you are talking, I think that is saying to us that she was in a nightmare that was prophetic, and then the priests or the were taking notes of what she saw or something like that.
Mhm.
Because I was trying to find this drag highness dream, which supposedly is very important to understand the importance of who actually were was Clytemnestra and
Mhm.
the actual position that she had
Yeah.
in like in that Aeschylus tragedy, which is after the war in Troy,
Yeah. And
when she kills Agamemnon.
yeah. And good for her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um
But it was
so
mentioned in dreams. That's what I was
yeah.
like. It was an important thing,
Mhm.
and somehow had to be the Aeschylus had to be very careful in how he was referring to dreams. That's the vibe that
Yeah.
I get.
Huh.
To
Yeah.
not revealing that too much.
When we translated some of Agamemnon, and it seemed to me like the chorus was continually being judgmental and um,
Mhm.
uh, accusatory toward her because of what she did. But she kept reassuring them that this was the right thing that she had to do. And in the story you see exactly why, but I would imagine that even experiencing that and then having to sleep at night is like, yeah, of course you're gonna have that dream.
Yeah.
You know?
But the thing is,
So,
how they were using, how it was viewed. Like, it's just a dream because it's something that happened to you, or there is something that we're using in our tech or in
mhm,
our way of seeing reality that the dream is actually part of something that data will be
mhm,
important in
exactly,
different
yeah,
in many ways.
right. And yeah, it's encoded, you know. And so
Hmm.
the next source that I have is Iphigenia. She has a dream that of an earthquake destroying her home, and only a pillar survives, and she's like, this is she views the pillar as a human being, and she dresses and washes it as it's like a young man, and um yeah, being prepared for burial. So she dresses it like it's somebody being prepared and for burial, and
Hmm.
interprets it as a sign of Orestes' death. But he's not the one that died. It's like everybody else had died, and he's the only one that's left, pretty much. So it doesn't, this dream that she had didn't foretell his death, but it really told his survival. And so I also read that also paralleled the Mithras liturgy, which we're translating in our intensive
Hmm.
reading course,
What's the other
and
day?
because it parallels imagery kind of. There's um yeah, like this axis supporting the heavens and the pillar supporting our house and everything collapsing. It's this vision of enduring and surviving catastrophe kind of. But I don't know if that's true. I just wrote it down because I thought it was cool. So
It
yeah,
is.
it's like at the same time I'm just reading stuff, and it's like what do I know, right? I'm exploring these ideas, and I don't have to be right about what I think about it. It doesn't really, what I think doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So, um, there's another source talking about. I haven't read this, but I read um. Let's see. Okay. don't know. There's so many different sources, but there's this one. Like there are dreams that you'll understand after some. You'll understand it. You'll have a dream, and then you won't understand. How do I put this into words? You'll have a dream, and then something will happen, and then it's only in retrospect that you understand the dream, right? And it's
Mhm.
like an unfolding where the timeline is like it's already been chosen for you and you can't change it until later on when you look back, right? And I think that's a lot of how people live. It's like, oh, I wish I would have known that before. Uh, there are other dreams where
Absolutely.
it's like, sorry, what?
Absolutely. And also sometimes you can see that this you have been seeing some stuff from long ago, but if you don't are following a bit what you are being shown or you are
Mm-hmm.
showing to yourself, or I don't know how it works, but that you will understand that something that you dreamed 6 months ago
Hmm.
is completely related maybe with something that you are dreaming now. And
Right.
actually, even you are in the specific same spot. And I can say this because it happens to me like more than once in the old recordings that I have. I can see myself in the same places, but in some other part of that same place.
Yeah.
And those situations has something to do. And then you can put the parallel of your life when you are awake or not in the dream state, and you might understand why you were dreaming that like 6 months ago and makes sense now 6 months after.
That happened to me recently, but it was more like a deja vu where I was
Mhm.
driving and recently I took my kids to Strawberry Patch and somebody messaged me a picture of a text and I had this deja vu moment where I'm like, I already saw this before. I saw myself, I already read this, I already saw this moment in time. And it was a very bizarre feeling and I hadn't felt that in a long time.
Do you
Um,
remember the dream? You remember that
no,
it was
no,
in a dream?
I remember the moment and I remember that I had already seen it
Hmm.
but I don't remember it as a dream. So, um, hmm. Oh, so the next thing I wanted to share
Hmm.
what is Hippocrates. He writes in on regimen that the dreams he writes about dreams being like diagnostic indicators of what's happening in the body. So
Okay,
he
makes
was
lots of
trying
sense.
to he's trying to build the system of or a theory of how dreams are saying that depending on what's happening in your body and your internal state, then because of that, dreams arise, right? So if you're like hot or cold, too cold, or you are diseased, or you have issues with this or that, that it will affect your sleep, your dreams, and will manifest in, um, you know, dreams. So he was saying, if you need water or you, yeah, you have fluid imbalance, or like if you dream about flying, that means that your body's being depleted of vitamins or whatever, and or yeah, so dreams reflecting like digestion and there are signals for a developing illness. So he was trying to figure out a way to hash out how dreams are physiological in a way. So that they're like a product of symptoms, right? There that are signaling you in your sleep. And so I thought that was interesting. Another point of view of dreams, Plato, in the Republic, he looks at dreams as being unconscious inner desires. So people have dreams of doing awful stuff. And only because your reason is shut down, right? Your capacity to use your awareness of how you perceive yourself, how you act publicly, that conscious layer just goes dormant. And so when you sleep, your unseen, capability, dark capacities might manifest in dreams. And so,
Hmm.
he wrote about, yeah, your
For
control over your consciousness kind of relaxes, and so your morality weakens. And I don't know if I agree with that, but yeah,
your
so like
morality
things
weakens.
that you suppressed or felt ashamed about, or you know those things can arise and take form in in dreams. So and another text that he had. Oh, well, the last thing about that is, I wrote also, it shows what a
Yeah.
soul would do without law. It shows what an individual may do if he didn't give himself rules for living, set himself to any sort of standard. It gives the full spectrum of evil per se and goodness that's hidden in one's subconscious, right? So another
Hmm.
thing that he talked about was um the mind being, so the mind is silenced, but the imagination just remains. That's why we have dreams, is what he wrote. And uh,
Like the mind is
Timaeus.
silence, like intellect, let's say.
Yeah.
Mm.
So because of that, because the imagination remains, he writes that that's where prophecy can occur undistracted. You have prophetic dreams. And so he says that, oh, maybe prophecy isn't controlled by reason, but divine influence. And so that should be unfiltered. And then, yeah, which I think that's how it should be, which is why
Hmm.
um, I think that I mean now I don't know. Again, like my own opinion of it, it doesn't really matter. It's good to take in all these sources so you can see like how did these what do these texts reflect? What are these concepts?
Hmm.
And the most uh,
And mainly they are like
simplest way.
pre-Socratics,
Yeah, yeah.
that they were um, trying to figure it out how the whole thing was working, like
Huh. Yeah,
from a
definitely.
scientific perspective,
Yeah.
like we will call now a scientific perspective, even what they were doing. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not based on faith or anything like that. It was based like on
Oh,
actual research, like
yeah.
the kid is saying right now. You hear
Like the
her?
kitty.
She's probably dreaming something.
Yeah. Um, hmm.
Yeah.
Another source is for dreaming is not really a sleep dreaming, but I guess it's Medea, because
Okay.
her mind is constantly in between worlds, right? And so the passage where in Argonautica, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So where she's, I think we read this last time we talked, but she's struck by the arrow of Eros, right? She's forced to fall in love with Jason. And so her thoughts and her imagery is just intrusive. She's got these intrusive love thoughts for Jason against her will, and which to me is hilarious, but she's just miserable. She's being tormented. She can't sleep. She's got, even at night, it's heightened even worse. Her constant anxiety and what her brain is just like on some other level where she just is generating imagery constantly as and if I mean we know because we've studied Medea that she is the oracle, right? So of course she's having all these images and yeah, I guess her sleep in the Argonautica is just terrible, and that she's just full of longing and her mental imagery at night, it just intensifies. So I thought that was interesting. Um, yeah. Um, but there's another aspect of dreaming where it can be induced. So what you were saying before,
Hmm.
um, where you can go to a temple and ask to receive a dream for the sake of healing Asclepius, right? And you can go to a temple and receive a holy dream. You can um, do the incubation as this ritual or medical
Yeah,
even practice, and I'm interested in that because it's like we should bring that back. Your
definitely.
dreams, yeah. Receive a healing dream, and so I read about that. So it's like at first, the first concept of it was like, oh, you go to a temple, you wait to receive a dream from a god, and there you go. And that might contain a diagnosis. But I think it's way more than that. It's not just like, oh, you get a prescription and you go get it filled. It's like it's you go through a series of purification. You go through um fasting and potentially sacrificing and all
Yeah,
sorts of stuff.
yeah, because
So
they were not doing random stuff.
no, they were very intentional, and um, that's what it was an operation. It's not symbolic. It's not seen symbolically. Like the dreams were seen as um, a way to solve your ailments, and through a spiritual encounter, which has this, there's an expanse of how it would happen. It wouldn't be like the same for every individual. It would, it would be like sometimes somebody would just go to sleep and be wake up healed. Other times somebody would, um, a god would encounter them and touch certain parts of their body, and or other times they would give instruction of what to do next. And so this shows that dreams themselves can have the capacity to be healing. I love that. I think that's beautiful. Dreams themselves as healing events. I don't
Yeah.
think that I mean, in the Western world, people view dreams like that at all. Has anybody been healed through a dream that you know
Mm, yeah, well, probably, but but
of?
it's not common. I mean, of course, I think also the whole idea of why a dream will not be important is also crazy. Like, um, why will everybody think that it will not have any importance? I mean,
Yeah.
dude, you're actually seeing some crazy stuff while you are sleeping.
Mhm.
How will you not think that it will have something to do with your life or with reality, like where it will be something so like random, it happens randomly, like I don't know, like, you know like to actually not be engaging with even the fact that um it might be something that you can use for your own health is crazy itself. Like, just like if you stop and you think about it, uh, of course you are dreaming something and it has something. I guess like it's a lost art, and as it is a lost um part of medicine, like
Hmm.
of how can, well, I guess there was a bit of it in the early 20th century with this whole idea of the lucid dreaming and
Oh
studying it
yeah.
in that way, which
Yeah, I think
mm,
that's also different because it's like, here, you go to sleep and then use these different techniques to like wake up slightly while you're dreaming and then go on this
mhm.
journey where you can do whatever you want.
Has
And
happened to you?
I mean, yes.
Hmm.
But I think the people that practice lucid dreaming, not saying all of them, but some of them are just doing it to see what they can do it with their free will in a way. It's like, let's see if we can fly. Let's see where we can go. Let's just go on an adventure. And it's almost like escapism just through dreaming. I don't think anybody's like I mean, this is not true. I will take back my statement.
Hmm.
I'm talking about the average person, not somebody that's committed to, doing a
Hmm.
magical practice. For people that are doing dream work as like a practice magically, I think that it's like, yeah, you're creating an intentional space where you can experience specific things, and that
which
that's a
is which
whole that's a whole
which is
rabbit hole in itself.
which is at the same time a delicate thing, like
Mhm,
delicate, I mean, like well, we kind of understand, like, of course. Well, I guess everybody can relate with the idea that sometimes you have a dream and it will interact with your reality after. Like, I
mhm.
had this dream, was so fucked up, man, and I'm just like feeling this shit for the whole day. So I will make different decisions, probably not
Mhm.
based on it, but I mean, it will be part
Yeah,
of my whole day.
definitely. I
So
had, yeah,
just that
many dreams
fact.
like that.
Just that fact is obviously you are the same entity engaging with this realm, with this other one, because as you were saying before, I mean, we're just experiencing both worlds as is reality. But when
Mhm,
when we say like lucid dreaming, what what we are talking about is, yeah, I know what you mean, like the idea of, okay, now I'm going to fly whatever I want, and I'm gonna be like, now I'm, I don't know, like superhero and doing some, but
mhm,
but actually the whole idea of the subconscious,
mhm.
which you don't have the same tap into during your awake time
Yeah.
as
Mhm,
in your dreaming time, is just nuts. If you go like, I remember what the first time I was into lucid dreaming, because when I was like between when I was like 18 till I was like 27 or something, I was competing a lot in
mhm.
martial arts,
Oh, yeah.
and I was all very um kind of not obsessed. I always say obsessed, but it's a strong word. Not obsessed, but let's say I was thinking about it a lot.
Mhm,
That if you might be able to be lucid dreaming, I could be fucking training for months
in your
and then
dreams, yeah.
just wake up, and be better. because because my brain will understand how to make the move, and how to like be training and not actually being hurting myself in physical this world training. And
Mhm,
but my mind will be trained on that reaction, which
yes.
I'm just giving this as an example. But this was taken very seriously before, and when you are in this capability of engaging with something with where time doesn't matter, where time is not as the time we feel as when we are awake, because you can be dreaming let's say you can have a dream that takes a long time, and then you wake up and you were just 5 minutes. Like happens a lot to me. Like I
Yeah.
usually wake a lot of times
Mhm.
before I actually, like like go into the shower and start my day. I wake like 3 or 4 times. I don't know why, but it's happening to me like since past
For
like
me,
for quite a
I
while, right?
wake up immediately. The first time I wake up, I have to get up. It's
Oh, okay. That will be
it's
so
a I
cool,
have
man.
to
For me, it will
thing.
be
I mean,
so cool.
sometimes I feel like trash if I don't. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I found that as a
I used to
hack
put
for
an
me.
alarm, like
Hmm.
this is like 10 years ago. I used to put an alarm like every 10 minutes for like 1 hour, so I
Yeah,
can remember everything that I was dreaming.
nice.
I know it
Yeah.
sounds so freaking crazy, but
No, I mean
obviously
that
I
works.
didn't have much to do. I was like, you know, like 20. But
Yeah.
the thing is, what I was saying about the idea of lucid dreaming and the importance of that realm, it had some hype also in like the 20th century with
Oh yeah.
psychiatry and all of that. Yeah, even
Hmm.
Carl Jung, we know he was completely
Sure.
nuts
Yeah.
about it. I mean, not nuts. I'm sorry. I don't know if nuts is the word. In Spanish, I will say logo. Will be
Logo.
like he was like all about the dreaming stuff at the end. Like he was
Hmm.
like talking with a demon,
Hmm.
like he created, and or I don't know if he created. I mean, he engaged with in several times, so he can see the same person a bunch of times in this state. With what do you think is the relationship with the daimonic idea and dreams?
I there's a lot to share. I mean, so it sleep so to carry on from the idea of a temple space being this controlled safe space to receive a dream or an encounter with a god, right? With a daimon, because gods, daimons are these powers, right?
Mhm.
It's a power. I think also a dream or daimon experienced through dream can be some sort of intermediary or
Mhm.
messenger type of.
Shall we just for the sake of this,
Mhm.
like to somebody, let's imagine like somebody doesn't have any idea of what do you mean with that with a diamond? What is your perspective on what that will mean?
Um, my perspective
Mhm.
is
Or the source as you prefer to engage with it.
mm,
Your own opinion
so
or what you have been learning about it through sources as you want to address it.
I have a lot of different views on it. To be honest, I'm still kind of
Mhm.
gathering what a better picture of what I think a daimon is. But what to me, at the very least, is an accessible power, and this can be through a form or an entity, if you will. For example, it's been a reoccurring thing lately. The Peridros from the PGM, the assistant daimon,
Mhm.
that eats, sleeps, exists with you at all times. Um, I mean, a daimon can be this. Um, Power or essence of I don't know, of a god or of some sort of um, good or malevolent being that you can control and use to manipulate what you want in a way. And
Mhm.
so I mean, I have kind of evolving views on it because I think it's not fixed. It's not
Mhm. But
it's
what do you think about this idea? Because this was something that I got, which I was, I don't remember if it was word snappy or not, but this idea of that, well, we know we have a bunch of personalities, isn't it? Like in our intellect. I mean,
oh
we're not the same
yes.
person all the time. I mean, we're
Mhm,
a bunch of dudes, or and like you might have I don't know, I speak with somebody and say, okay, I'm fully committed with this, and
mhm,
then you wake up the other day and you are not the same that committed with that idea, and now you are committed with it, and you are being part of this intellect, which is not bad, but it's
mhm,
out of control. You know what I mean? Like and it's not like. So I got this phrase, which I don't remember which one it is. I guess I'm 95% sure that is Socrates, as he was saying, like a diamond will be more you than any of the personalities of the intellect.
mm. I
So
like that.
that phrase for me was like, okay, so he's referring to the diamond as of yourself
Mhm.
above these personalities that you have, or at least more yourself than than any of them. So
Yeah. So
it's a crazy.
another yeah, that's awesome. Um what that made me think of is yeah, the daimon is being some sort of archetype almost that is a part of your nature, right? So psychologically you're it can be drawn out of you, or there's like the personal daimons where that the whole holy guardian angel concept comes from, where it's
Mhm,
like you receive your higher essence essentially. And I think bits and pieces of that are all true. I think I had this experience that was really strange on psychedelics, where I was basically, it felt like it was, I basically just descended into the underworld, but it was all projected from my own mind, right? Because I'm having this experience and I was aware that everything that I was seeing was being reflected of my inner cosmos of my brain. And there were all sorts of entities and beings just flooding my room, just flooding everything. And I could control them. I could tell them what to do. And um and I think I saw the difference in that of a projection from your mind, right? Um which these images, these entities that I could see were sharp, and they were like gnashings of teeth. They were bones, and they were terrifying images, right? And this is unconscious stuff, right? That is being produced and induced through psychedelics. But at the same time that happened, an entity that I could not control appeared to me and spoke to me. Um, and that separate entity, because these what I could only um, think at the time were daimons, were so these little entities. They were almost like fairies. Some of them, they were all different sizes, but the one that was human sized, that appeared to me veiled and sitting in my chair, that I
mhm.
could not tell what to do or to leave or what to do, that responded mockingly, but understanding that was something else, and that did not come from me.
That
And I thought,
you felt that, yeah, okay, that it was not coming from you, and you can spot that.
definitely, I could
Okay.
I could tell the difference. I understood, and it was very clear. So I think it was like, it's also weird to be studying this stuff from a religious background. I don't have like a shame about it, but I do have like, this point of view where it's like, oh, you spend so much time thinking that a demon is like devil horns and like bad. But when you think of it from a magical perspective, it's like a power that you can, or an entity that you can tell it to do something for you, and it returns the favor
Mhm.
in a way, and sort of in some sort of exchange. And developing on these concepts and reading about these things and then experiencing um, that kind of thing is interesting. But I wanted to share some more sources if we have
Mhm.
time to,
Well, I
because
mean,
I wanted to kind of get into magical stuff.
I have time.
I
You
I
want,
always think I'm like, oh,
just go for it.
I'm boring everyone with all the
No, I'm
sources, but
loving the conversation. Just go for it.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I had a couple things um to share about, yeah, so moving past the medicinal, but everything is, it's interlinked. Almond shares that everything is religious, everything is medicine, everything's education.
Yeah,
It's all intermingled,
absolutely.
where we categorize stuff, we put things in boxes, and that's not the right way of thinking, in a way. So how do we break down these barriers? It's like, yeah, understanding that in regards to dreaming, that you can create a controlled safe space, and then understand sleep as ritual technology. And so I was loving that. um Asclepia describes like operations through sleep. So blindness being cured, amputations and like wounds healed and parasites healed and diseases removed and then experienced. So, but that the god or the daimon was influencing that power, and and it was seen as something happening very real, and not just, oh, I had a dream that this happened and then I woke up and suddenly I was healed miraculously. And there was this other point of view that's like, no, this entity interacted with you in a very real sense, and it was very personal. It wasn't just like a dream. So having a sanctuary or a chamber where you can expect um a an otherworldly healing experience
Mhm.
has to be something that is revived in the future. I will dedicate my life to that. But I can't imagine this, how it must have been to occur, to been experiencing something like that so sacred. And then so PGM, um sleep also seems to be like this controllable space, this chamber. You can use sleep as a chamber, um uh, to be this controllable portal, in a way, to communicate with daimons and spirits and attain wisdom. You can communicate to gods, to produce these encounters, to um have revelations, to receive answers, to summon different entities, or get knowledge of the future and stuff like that. So, I mean, the PGM, it's also just a conglomeration of all sorts of stuff, but it's if you think about ritual being this and a combination of dreams and invocation and there's amulets you can put under your pillow, and there's all sorts of stuff. There's magical names repeated, there's chanting, there's sleeping in certain ways in different places and stuff to produce different results. I think that's, I mean, yeah, you can call upon a deity to appear to you, and it can appear in many different forms, or um, you know, you can request you can request instruction, you can bind, and you can force it to strictly appear in the dream realm and locking it into your
Yeah,
brain essentially.
yeah.
Ah, so cool. You can use dreams,
Actually,
yeah.
I actually heard when I was like very into the idea of, well, just like small personal experience. The
Mhm,
first time that I was trying to engage with this idea of being lucid in a dream, that I
mhm,
was telling you before, it was because of the training and everything. And yeah, I was actually doing it because of it. So I started to read about it, and I was trying to do it myself. And and this idea came with the thing that I was studying, which it was like very random. I didn't have like where to look, so I have these first sources, let's say something that you find online, and it was this idea of, if you engage with somebody, you can tell that person, please, next time I encounter you again, can you please tell me that I'm here dreaming? And you will find that person again, and he will tell you, hey, man, you are here in the dream. So after, you will dream again, and that person will appear and will say to you, okay, do you remember you told me you're dreaming, man?
mhm,
So I found that also so interesting to do. It was I didn't got into that point, because, to be honest, first time I was engaging with it, I think it was working, and I got freaking scared, and I went out of it. Like, I was actually feeling my body not be able. I was. It's not that I was like in this idea of the paralysis, not at all. But I was feeling that I was going into it when I was doing the whole thing that I was trying to do, which it was pretty much to hear a sound inside of you, which it will be like, if you are very in a place that is dark and there's not much sound, you will hear some sound that maybe yourself or your body is doing, and you just focused on it. So in that way, you will be able to enter in this realm, and your consciousness in some kind of way will stay awake, while
yeah.
your body will not be there, because you will be paralyzed, because it's a normal thing that your body does. If not, you will be, when I'm dreaming that I'm underwater, I will be fucking going nuts, trying to fucking take some breath, so your body has to make sure that while you are there, you are not going nuts,
Yeah.
in your physical. But they never had that experience that I could tell somebody in my dream, like, dude,
Mhm,
can you please tell me every time we met, that I'm here? But this is something that is part of what this discipline of making this lucid dream to happen.
mhm.
It was a part of it. Like,
Oh,
tell
that's cool.
somebody, dude,
Yeah.
can you please tell me, man, you're here now, so I can
Mhm.
enter very quickly on it again.
That's cool.
That's, yeah, not, I mean, but seems to be like something that actually is the way that, enough, if somebody in the audience know about this, like you just go there and say to somebody, man, can you please tell me that I'm dreaming every time we met?
Yeah, that's
Uh,
wild.
yeah, and
I've had strange experiences like that as well. But hmm, yeah. Have you ever tried just like I don't know. I'm not gonna share. All right.
Okay.
So I found my notes on diamonds now. So I wanted to share what I wrote
Yeah, yeah,
about
please, please.
diamonds. So some sources talk about diamonds as being intelligences, mediating between humans and gods. So as more on the messenger side. So God, the gods requiring sometimes an intermediary to interact with human beings, which if in order to access the gods, then you would have to access the intermediary. And I see that a lot, right, with or the oracles, right? So it's like functioning in this in between. I call it the in between. I mean, I like calling it middle distance. And, this plain reality. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're back.
Here and
It's
there.
okay.
So it's like um I view it kind of like neurotransmitters in a way too. But it's like somewhere in between your your soul's guides or your will. I don't know. But there's also this concept of epiphany, right? Um, it's manifestation or appearance of where God literally appears in dreams. So that would be
Hmm.
called epiphany. Um,
Hmm.
I'm trying to read up the other notes that I had. I don't know. There's a difference between um the incubation, right, and astral travel. So astral travel, you're like sending yourself out, right?
Hmm.
And the incubation's more like I'm preparing the space to receive. And I like that because it's a lot more feminine in nature. It's a lot more um
Definitely, I think that I was scared that time because I did that. I was
the
like, but
preparation.
yeah, I was like, okay, now I remember I was like 21 or something like that. And I was like putting some stuff on the window to be like to not see the lights from outside, and the whole thing that you are doing something towards it, and it was happening, and I was like, no, 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 and I went away. And I think that actually made it quite difficult for me after
To
to
dream?
go for it,
Oh, to call
like to
for it.
go into this idea of entering from this awake and pass the whole transition towards this other realm. So
Yeah.
I said no at some point, and
Mhm.
it made it some way more difficult for me after. So that's why I think it should be, if you are going in this kind of stuff, it should be like in a very um, to know what you're doing. So that's what makes so much sense to me, that they were doing in a very specific way, um, with some order on it, to not create
Mhm.
some barriers with it
Yeah.
that you are not understanding that you are actually creating.
Mhm. So I'll share an experience that's really similar. Um, so I So it had to be so 2024. It's like, what year is it now? 2024 at the end, or it's in October, I was at the end of my pregnancy and I had gone, um, so I was entering the womb portal and I was preparing myself for a home birth. And I was doing these everyday intense meditations and ritual practices to prepare me mentally for birth, right? And for an extended period of time. And about I went a month overdue. I was very pregnant. I was past due by a month. I think I was like 44 weeks pregnant. And 5 days before I gave birth, I had randomly, I it was one of those days, I had been preparing, I had been doing these practices, and I was super pregnant, single mom, still had 3 toddlers, right? 3 small children to take care of, so I was exhausted at the end of my day. I was still breastfeeding while I was super pregnant, so just completely tired, just super tired. And I put my baby to sleep, 'cause my youngest at the time before I gave birth was almost 2. So, not for nourishment, just for comfort. Put her to sleep in my bed. I had this experience right as I just laid down exhausted to go to sleep. And immediately, while I thought I was awake, immediately I got shot up to the ceiling. I was bobbing on the top of the ceiling, and I was still holding my little girl's hand, and I was stuck on top of the ceiling. I was stuck, and I was get like, as if gravity had just been entirely erased, and I was being forced out of the window, and I was supposed to go up to outer space, I guess, but I'm like, "No, I don't wanna open the window," like, that'd be a whole hard thing to do, like, I had a screen and everything. I'm like, "I do not wanna be loud or wake up, uh, Pepper," and I was like, "No, I don't." No, there were these entities there, and they were invisible, and I was like, "No, I don't wanna do this. I don't put me back down." I was, like, yelling at them. I was mad because it was random. I'm like, "Give me a warning next time." And so, me being stuck at the top of the ceiling, they send me back down, and I lay back down, and I sit up in bed, and I'm like, I wasn't even asleep. My eyes were open the whole time. It was, like, very real. And I'm trying to comprehend whether that's a real experience or not, right? And then these entities that are there that I can sense and speak to, but I can't see, there's like 3 of them at in my room. And I'm like, they're like, we have to send you to this place or have you be in this space or to relay this information to you. And so I'm like, okay, well, give me a warning next time, tell me in advance, like, give me some sort of sign. And so they're like, well, we'll do this another way. And I'm like, okay. And so I just laid down and I was like, all right, I'm preparing myself to experience that again. And it did not happen. Instead, it was like these presences that entered in through my ears, into my sleep, and through my mind. It was like I entered some underground tunnel that led me into the same space that I was supposed to go. And so it was like underground caverns in a way that I was traveling just in through my brain. And somehow I ended up into this space that was very similar to what you would imagine outer space to be like. It was just dark. It was darkness, but it was like also where I saw. um, these beings holding a map. It was like a map, but it was more like a blueprint in a way. And one of them was my baby, my baby, and that was not born yet. And I was like trying to get their attention, and they turned around and said, "Stop distracting me." And I'm like, "Well, I'm ready. I'm ready for you to come." And so they're like, "All right, well, yeah, we know." And so I'm like, "Well, I feel
Crazy.
dumb now. Yeah, why am I'm interrupting this important, whatever's going on here, this meeting place." But I think I was just supposed to see that for some reason, and then I went to sleep. So that was a very interesting dream experience that I had. Um, one of many during that pregnancy. Pregnancy is like very strange because your your body is heightened on all sorts of levels. That
Chemically, probably it will be, yeah, completely
yeah,
different.
yeah,
I will never
I,
know.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. So preparing, so that reminded me because one of the notes I had is, yeah, we were talking like the incubus. The incubations, like you're preparing yourself, and that's precisely what I was doing. But I didn't realize that I was doing it in a way like I was creating myself as a chamber place for messages or for an entity to be received and these experiences to be had. Whether that was or not, it was still a strange occurrence. Um, and the Mithras liturgy, uh, there's this um it's there's a rising to ascent, there it's like a rising to Uranus, to the celestial power, and that is kind of like how I felt. And that I'm like getting complete, like gravity just being completely taken away from me. But yeah, and involving out the both astral, when I was trying to like um think about how an incubation is different as like, being more grounded and in comparison to like our modern ideas of astral travel, right, or lucid dreaming. um both
Mhm.
of them are just out of body experiences. I had an out of body experience several times in my life. um Crazy stuff just happened. um I had yeah, we can talk about it as soon as I as soon as I'm done with
Yeah.
some of these sources. Um, so I asked the question, why would you want to invoke a daimon?
Why would you want to invoke a demon?
Hmm.
Well, if as a question, um, what will I think about it? First, I think probably, I don't know how this is going to sound, but to see if you can engage with it, I guess it will be the first thing. Like there is actually this um, place where some consciousness, which is separated from myself, will actually engage with me in such a way that I will understand that that it's actually there, and it's not
Hmm.
just part of yourself.
Yeah.
So I guess because at the same time, myself, or maybe, well, just talking from myself, and it's because you feel like you have done it, but you somehow you need something um, to with your intellectual mind to engage with it, and not to understand it fully, but maybe to give the possibility to it. So I guess
Yeah.
we are, or myself, very, without even noticing, trained to not feel like any of this is actually happening, you
Yeah,
know.
like you're cynical, like you don't trust your what you're perceiving, right?
Mhm. In a first stage,
Mhm.
because if you ask me personally again, I'm absolutely sure I've been engaging with parts of myself where are not me right now, that I'm, let's say, traveling, and
Mm,
somehow you make a decision. I'm not going to that street. I'm taking this other one. I'm leaving now, and I'm not
mm.
making a whole study about it. I'm just
Yeah, you're just
uh,
doing, you're just
understanding that
being.
this, I feel that I have to follow this stream, or
Mm.
and not that one, and
Yep.
not even for a second um, questioning it. Like, this is a decision right now. I understand. So
Yep.
what is that? I mean, is some kind of knowledge that somewhere in yourself, or maybe from other, I don't know, it's giving you such a realization that this is the decision you have to make, that you are not even thinking it with your intellect. You are just taking the decision. So you might call that like intuition, or I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of,
intuition.
but
Hmm.
but it is real as it gets, because you're making a decision based on it.
Hmm.
So it is engaging with your physical reality, uh,
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
So why would you try to invoke something like that? Is because I think that those are the best decisions I've made in my life. So
Yeah, yeah.
probably I will want to, I mean, not probably, I will
Mhm.
want to be able to engage with that certainty of, or not certainty, like just a decision that it will not be blurred by images of the intellect, which are just automatic.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
What
Interesting.
would you think they were like, invoking that, and what would be the point? I guess if you are asking me from a person which doesn't know how to do it, it's like, I think because of that, like to be able to go with streams or currents that you feel like not wanting from a intellectual, again, idea, from what you are realizing, that is where you are going. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, it's
Mm,
like,
yeah.
I'm a diver, so sometimes when you're underwater, you have to be able to read currents. And I always like to go to that analogy for myself. Like, I need to find the current. It's not that I'm trying um, to create it myself. I'm just trying to be able to view it,
That's
and to
beautifully
choose it.
said. I
Mm.
like that. That's cool. Um, can you hear that?
What?
Oh,
No,
there's somebody screaming outside. Um,
no, it's not coming through.
okay. Yeah, that to be able to tune into the current. That's really beautiful. Um, yeah. I feel that 100%. I feel like that's the only way I know how to live, you know? Um, I'm only trusting in the currents. And
Mhm,
sometimes it's through experience now. It's like, okay, if I doubt the current, I pay for that. You know, if I doubt the intuitive impulse, I I pay for that. And sometimes
mhm,
I ask specifically for insight to be able to guide me, and especially in my own error, in my own humanness. If I doubt for 1 second that once I've received an answer or guidance, that answer or guidance is not true. When I know that it was real, and then I still choose um, contrary to the information that's given to me, I pay, unfortunately, the consequence. And I see that played out a lot in my life. Um, and I think that's also a part of growing. I don't think it's bad either because, a lot of it's just, yeah, I'm correcting. I am learning to now depend wholly on these currents and as you say. So when I ask, like, why would you invoke a daimon, there are many reasons that one can, and being assistance, and what would that assistance look like? You know, um, Sometimes for revelation, sometimes for messages, sometimes for protection, sometimes for communication, and I think um, your inner world, your cosmos, the universe, it's all like leading you. It's all inhabited in a way by these intermediaries that are guiding you, one or many. Um, and ritual and being devoted to a practice allows you to be able to control but also discern and yeah, and discern like the influences. Um, I I think that, you were right. It's Socrates talking about his personal daimon, right? He sees it as like an inner. He talks about like, oh, my personal daimon sends me warnings, sends me signals, and I think it's also like it doesn't have to be so urgent. It doesn't have to be crazy or spooky. It's literally the level of awareness and perception that you have when you are able to receive these noticing all these signs. They're like, oh, I had this thought that randomly popped into my head. I'm gonna write that down. Or um it's like bookmark. But I call it a ping, you ping, you get this like, oh, like I take note of that. I saw that. And or even noticing different patterns, noticing many things happening. That's like a common one. But you know, what is this guiding presence? What is this and how is it connected to destiny? Is it connected to fate? Is it connected to the fates? Is it um, you know, tangible? Is it physical? Can it be manifested into the physical? Can it be um altered? And that's also why I like the idea. I am I getting ahead of myself? Oh yes, no, I'm on time. I'm right on time because in my notes I wrote about a sleep there's like the sleep paralysis demon, right? That can appear and weighs you down, sits on you, um, sits on your chest. And it gave me I think about, especially, Almond talks about his incubus experiments, if you will. And a lot of people are turned off by that. I think it's really cool because the point, in a way, of it, not only he said to me that it pisses people off, but also it's like he tried something and it worked, and that kind of encourages me to, like, yeah, not be afraid of these things.
Mhm.
How can we shut off this religious shame around diamonds, around magic, right?
Mhm.
And
What
so
what 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 I get from that, which I also love that approach, which makes so much sense to me, because it's more about understanding um, how the universe is working. That's the whole point. Like, um, as I was giving you the analogy of the currents of the ocean, like, it's not that you are trying to have faith on something. It's more like you are trying to be more aware of what is actually going on around
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
and be a part of it somehow, and
The
and and,
illumination.
and train yourself, because somehow you will have to be trained. I mean, if you want to go into the underwater, and
Hmm.
you cannot just go, you will drown, you will
Yeah.
probably get lost at sea or something. Uh, but the whole point of the training is not that you are going to be having believing in something. It's more like you are actually experiencing what is going on, and you are more aware of what is happening, and you have more tools to actually navigate it. And I think that's the whole point.
Mm.
I mean, at this point, that's what I'm understanding about this. Even you just brought the conversations you have with Ammon, and
Mhm.
for me, it's same. Like, it's physics, man. As he likes to say,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the physics. So we are not like, it's not
I'm
about
trying to
believing.
understand physics. I'm okay with like not understanding the physics at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
It's like, oh, here and there, I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I'm getting it. And then other times I'm like,
Hmm.
what? What? How is this even
Yeah,
possible? In a way.
and it's
Yeah.
different ways of expressing that, like, not understanding, but like be able to see it, or like to understand that it's actually something going on, is
Hmm.
comes from different ways that human body can interact with, because you can put it in words, like, again, like intellectually, or even like through emotions or whatever, but it will be part of how the body is sense the world, which is not just in an intellectual way that you have to put it in words, or in numbers. I mean, some things you don't put it in numbers, and you're absolutely aware that something is going on. It's like
Yeah.
the example that he gave us in one of the interviews. It was like, you cannot see Eros, but you can see the effects of Eros. So
That's great because
that
I was just about
says
to
so
talk
much.
about Eros. That's perfect timing because I today I was like, um, hmm, trying to wrap my brain around Eros, right? And like, I understand Eros as being like the master of forms, right? Or this cosmic essence force. But it's not like a lovey-dovey force, right? It's not like I mean, the way that it's pushed in the modern world is like Eros is sexual and and I mean, yeah, in a way, it's all sexual, right? But I ask, hmm, are erotic visions productive? And
Mhm.
is it psychological muck in a way, or is it like if if it is, I mean, like, there's a difference between eros and like uncontrolled fantasy, right? And it's like when in the text you see Medea getting struck by the arrow. Um, it she's not having a good time. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like this force behaves like a seizure. It's like you experience pain and heat and fixation and a loss of reason and rationality. And so um what happens when someone's visited by erotic fantasies, but it's used as technology. And then I also
Mhm.
was asking that, is as an operation. So how is desire used and as a tool to, hmm, I don't know, like in a productive way? How is it used productively? And so I was wondering, like, asking, desire, how can it be turned into something not just felt, but like into a medium, into into Eros being this presence that is a part of the nature of all existence, right? It's like, I don't know. There is also this like overlap between um Eros and uh as a divine presence and healing too. So it's like, I don't know what to think about it. I don't know how
Mhm.
to rightly perceive it yet. I don't always view like somebody said to me today, "Oh, the incubus is always sexual and it's always violation." And I don't believe that to be true because I think it's an operation that is used to express healing, and it's not like,
Mhm.
because in the cult of like Asclepius, it's used when a god is touching. There's this overlap between sexuality and divine presence and healing, right? So it can produce transformation in a positive way, I think. So I don't know. I'm still like
Mhm.
um developing in a way my ideas around all of that.
Yeah, but I think like um, again, what you were saying, because of what you were just saying, it comes to my mind again the idea of how currents work. Like
Yeah.
they are there. So if you move again to the analogy of the underwater, because you are so powerless, when you are underwater, which is like you will understand if you go over that hill underwater, you will get tapped into that current. So you will choose your course with your
Yeah.
compass towards it. If you are going that way, if you are going this other way, you know that you are not going over that top of that mountain because you have, as you have been there a bunch of times, not in the same spot, but you understand how in this specific place currents work. It will take you down. It will not take you up, let's say, for just to
Hmm.
give an example. So what I'm trying to say is like is the way that makes a bit of sense, because for me it's like trying just to speculate about how these powers work. I mean,
Yeah.
and it makes sense to me that it's about currents more than there's things that are already happening that you probably can be caught on and not have any even remotely understanding why this is happening to you.
Mhm.
But if you had the capacity to understand how that is moving, that current is moving, you will understand that you just went into this point, so you are tapping into this current and not this other one that is going this other way, kind of thing.
Nice. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, that's cool.
So that these powers
Mm,
are happening all over
yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah. Can't say it hasn't happened to me. Yeah.
Well, me neither.
Um, so the last thing I wrote, I was
Mhm,
writing, we started with it, we can end with it too. It's the recording of dreams and why it's important. So I was going to share it in the beginning, but then I was like, well, if I don't like share some of the sources, then it might not make sense yet. So, recording dreams, yeah, is like you have to turn your vision into knowledge in a way. So they and like the dreams in the Hippocratic sense, they had to be accurately recorded in order to reach that diagnostic state, right? They had to know everything happening in the dream spot on. Um, Not so it's not like loosely researched because they're reviewing it in like a medicinal type of way. So
mhm,
I also read that like when a god or a daimon, if you will, would interact with you, then as some sort of evidence, then you could that it's been inscribed on the temple wall or it's been recorded and down in some sort of way because this experience happened and it is a testimony, if you will, of it occurring. It's like of this dream. um it gives the dream some sort of permanence, and also recording a dream allows it to be replicated, allows the experience to be recorded, but then it's like if you had some sort of revelation or guidance, that then you can replicate that, or you can keep track in a book. You can keep your ritual dream logbook and say, hey, on this day and this time and these circumstances, I did this, this happened, you know? Um, yeah, you can somehow allow it to be reproduced, perhaps. And
mhm,
there are spells like, sometimes given in dreams, and instructions for rituals, or like visions and names and things that are given for the purpose of protocol, not just like symbolism and reflection. So very purposeful, very intentional and methodical. It's scientific, yeah, physics. But
mhm.
also, dreams must be recorded as a function, as a proof of your inner metamorphosis, perhaps. But it also roots down, it grounds in a way, m- memory from your travels or from your experience in your dreamscape. And because to preserve it, I mean, it will dissolve, like I said before. And so writing also, writing, writing does wonders psychologically. Writing things down. I mean, it does something in your brain. It extends the capacity of memory. It also like
Mhm.
stabilizes a lot. It keeps things in track. It gives order in a way. And so then things can be, if you have a dream and it was like, oh, I remember only these parts. Over time, you might remember more and you can layer onto it and you can reflect on it. And so it's like good to have that all in one space, I think, too. And you can recognize, yeah, patterns and see things and how your dreams have evolved or reoccurred over time, right? So yeah,
Definitely.
I think, I need to get more focused on that. I have a book that I use for keeping track of dreams. A lot of times it's like the last dream I remember the last dream I recorded. I'll share this, and it's really vulnerable. The last dream I had, it's probably embarrassing to say and very strange, um, but I recorded it, and I remember I was like, "Oh, I had a dream for once." And so I, like, just typed it on my phone with my eyes pretty much closed still because I was half asleep and I didn't wanna forget. I didn't wanna forget the dream.
Mhm. I know what you mean.
But it really meant not that much, but I remember it just being like I was just there was just so much that I was doing in this dream. Um, and there were several things happening. You know, I moved into this new house. I guess it's a couple months ago now, and the I knew the girl that this girl that I went to school with grew up in this house, and I remember her, and she was actually like a bully. She was not nice to me at all, and I grew up with her in the church too, and so moving into here was kind of like reclaiming it as my space. It's also like a witch's cottage vibe here. And so I had this dream of her, and I was inviting her to, or I was somewhere that seemed like California, and we entered, me and a bunch of others and her, and I remember she was like very short and blonde, and like she I was like, "Yeah, welcome to Satanic Church. You know, we're all here." And I had my kids there, and like we had this space. And then it was distorted backwards. So it was actually like, "Oh, we are presenting ourselves as satanic, but actually it's just Christian, and we're going to try to convert you to Christianity." So then I was like, "Oh man, I was duped." And so I got out of there, and I drove somebody's car. There were It was a very strange looking vehicle I'd never seen before in my life. And I went to the movie theater, and I left the movie theater. I ended up going home, and then bursting through the door was this really fat man who pulled his dick out, and it was like serrated like a knife, and I got scared and I ran away. That was my and I woke up and I was like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what that one was about. But I mean, there's so many dreams, like you'll have dreams like that where it's just like, what the hell is that? And then
Yeah.
dreams that are like, oh my
And
gosh, this is really important. And I there was a dream. I mean, I'll share just quickly. There's a dream that I had that changed my life, and I mean, like you were saying, sometimes we have really messed up dreams,
yeah,
and
for sure.
sometimes really silly dreams like that. But this dream was about the implications of, you know, how you are being treated in front of your children, basically. And so the if it was basically giving me this message that if I didn't make a change, that it would not end well. And so in my dream, I mean, there was like dreams within dreams within dreams, and that, and it was very, I mean, the way it ended was like very graphic. Um and I was like, well, you know, I had to take some time to recover after that, because it was like one of those where it was so horrific and traumatizing that you wake up screaming, and it's like, what in the world do I have to say about this? But it was a very strong signal to me that I had to do exactly that. I had to make a change in my life in order to protect myself and my children. So that has been my greatest tool, is, as you know, paying attention to dreams like that are like warning sign, like Socrates is diamond is giving the signal. And I had, these nightmares, and then I was given Datura, right? As this tool to integrate the dreams. And before I knew what it was, I did not know. I did not know I was taking that flower. And so it was like, all I knew is supposed to help with dreams. And really, it just took me into a whole journey that opened a whole entire transformation of the wiring of my brain, that it ended up being positive. So I I mean, I could tell you so many different dreams, so many different out of body experiences, so many instances of my future self coming into the past and then affecting my future, stuff like that happening. Um that I don't know until later happened. Stuff, just strange things. I mean, I had a dream that I was trapped in for 2 years as well. I was imprisoned in a dream, for 2 years. I experienced 2 years of my life in the dream, and I woke up, and it was just 1 day. And so, I mean, it's like, what do you make of it? I mean, we as human beings are are capable of so much, and I will never not be on the magical path, and being intentional about my dream practice now, and I've learned kind of the hard way. So
Mhm. And I think like probably also even if you are engaging with them or not, thing is happening. You know, I mean, like
for sure.
whatever is going on is going on. So at some point you will just the fact that you can bring it into your awareness and be more part of it, um, it will not hurt at all. You know, it will
No,
probably will be, you know, because this is going, it's something that is happening. So
right.
you are being shown some stuff. Even
Hmm.
if you don't want to, yeah, you that will be happening anyways.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I'm not saying as I know, you know, this is the vibe I get,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like,
It's like, so, man, the way that I grew up was like, I have received this prophetic message, and it was exactly for you, and this is what's going to happen, and yada yada. And so
mhm,
the way that I'm unlearning is almost just through experience, because I was so conflicted with the oppression of witchcraft, being like a bad thing, but then it being normalized in church settings, right? So it's like, okay, how can we use these tools, such as participating in dreams, participating in, uh, prophetic vision and oracular vision and divination, that is not in a way that is manipulative for another human being. And that is something that's really important to me, because of how much manipulation has occurred in my life. I value the skills and the magic itself, and in the most pure form. So I mean, I've seen and known so many pastors, worship leaders, people in high up in church systems, that are like church celebrities, if you will, that are even now, especially this year,
mhm.
getting called out for being abusive, being manipulative, lying, and using people's information to take advantage of them, and that's wrong. And but then at the same time, the tools and the magic and the dreams and everything, there is something very, very real about it. So how can
Mhm.
we bring about practicing and doing these intentional loggings of dreams and reinviting our ourselves and our own private lives um to better heal humanity, but not to control, you know? And
Mhm.
yeah, those are just some things I've been thinking about.
Well, I guess like I mean, again, it's something that is so um, well, it will happen anyways. Again,
Yeah, yeah,
so the fact that you don't want to engage with it, we will not change that. It's going on, you know. So I think it was. It makes sense to me that it was part of a official, I don't know if that's the word, but like a practice that you will use as part of the experience of life, I guess, in those times. And the fact that
yeah,
we are detached from it, it doesn't, as a society, it doesn't it doesn't change the fact that it's going on anyways. So
exactly.
mhm.
So, and that's beautiful because it gives people the freedom to experiment like I'm
Yeah,
doing, you know?
every,
It
every
gives
every
the,
every day.
yeah, yeah, without fear. And yeah, so
Well, Mari,
this
uh,
has been a
as
great
always,
conversation. Yeah.
great conversation. It took us a while to do this second one, but
Yeah, thank you.
but we should definitely like keep going into this. And
Hmm.
well, as I was telling you, we're keeping with this journaling stuff. Is being part of the whole project and not just the project of the thing we're doing. Like even it became not for everybody, but for a bunch of us, it became like dude, something you want to do. And as I
That's
was telling you,
awesome.
like since we started, um, I was doing it before also. Once you start doing it, it becomes easier also. You will remember more, as you were saying before, like it's once you're writing something,
Mhm.
it gives different well, it does something to you because I can recall now the things that I wrote
Mhm.
very easy. So I will not be able to remember if I wouldn't make it real in that word, you know. So s-
That's awesome.
so definitely something that that people normally should be engaging with
Mhm.
because it's
Yeah,
happening.
it is. It's happening, and it's you'd be surprised what can happen. So
Mhm.
you should keep it up and let me know if you have any profound experiences.
For sure. And you should keep going with your fantasia idea.
I
I
will.
found it so
I
amazing.
will.
Quite an amazing idea. Like,
I'll pursue it. I'll pursue it and after uh probably at the end of the summer. So
well, we keep in touch, Marilena.
sounds
Again,
good.
thank you so much for coming
Thank you,
tonight.
Bruno. Yeah.
We start ready tonight for you. And
Yes, yeah.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
for me, it's like,
it's almost 10. 9:30
oh,
here.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
shit. True. But then, it's the same time. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Marlena,
you.
let's keep in touch. Thank you to
Okay.
everybody that is there in the chat. I was trying to follow it.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't see anybody, but love y'all.
yeah, but everybody is engaging a lot with what we are talking, and there's a bunch
Beautiful.
of cool stuff here. So it's a good thing that we have it. Well, actually, the cat is saying goodbye also, as you can hear.
Goodbye, TV.
Yeah. So,
All
Mari,
right.
we have this on record, so
Cool.
you'll be able
Beautiful.
to see all the comments that these
Oh, cool.
friends are talking here.
Awesome.
So
Well, I'll
thank you so
see
much.
you guys in the class later in 2
I
hours. So,
Yeah, yeah. I'm
all right.
always I'm always engaging a bit with it, even though I
Beautiful.
don't understand everything, but
Cool.
but it's always a cool invitation. I'm very grateful to
Hmm.
be able to be part of all of this.
Yes,
And
me too.
thank you so much, Marilena.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody
Thank you.
here,
See
and
you
keep
guys.
in touch.
Yeah, keep in touch. See you.
Bye. See you. Uh, well, again, thank you to everybody, and I should do some Spanish. Y si, bueno, si alguien estuvo viendo en español o si lo va a ver en el futuro, muchas gracias por acompañar esta conversación con Madalena, que siempre son brutales. Me encantan. Muchas gracias. Chao. Good night, everybody. Thank you.